All right. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Skrilltown himself. Welcome to Skrilltown Talk. So tonight we have our special guest, Nashville's own I Look. If you don't know about I Look, let me show you a little bit about I Look. How about that? Check it out.
I'm the holy heathen, staring at the ceiling while my soul is leaving. Find a deeper meaning in this web we weaving. While death be creeping and I battle demons, I face the worst one in the mirror daily. While I pray to God, how these people crazy. Vote for change, won't change, they lazy. Look at the planet, damn world fugazi. TV's only drama on, programming automatons. About to raise the dead like a holder Necronomicon. Hit you like a tomahawk, knocking down your nugget gone. Burning down Babylon, but party on. Most can't see the dark path they walk. My folks round table like Camelot. Two humps on the back like a camel got. About to wax that thing like a candle drop. It's like the life play it back like a movie, you retract from the highs to the lows, dropping down, bouncing back on the stars with a sack and a bubble in my lap. Through prayer and meditation, trying to make contact. Buzz of fire in the sky, reflecting in my eyes. Down lows to the soul, to the trials always grow. Out the ashes always rise. This is puzzling not the miles down. Turn my soul to gold, now they blinded by my glow. Shout out Skrilltown mo, grind hard to go home. If I don't grind hard, won't be no home to go. Used to get it from the gutter, trying to get it with my flow. If you vibe with what I'm saying, show some love and help me grow from the bottom like the flow. About to rise like the tide, put the venom in the vax like you supersize your fries. Ain't switching up your diet, push your field to their lies. I'ma keep it on my side, come and take it, you can try.
Yes, sir. He was rapping so fast, the computer couldn't keep up with him. So if you seen any technical difficulties, it was because I Look was rapping so damn fast. What's cracking, man? What's going on? It's my boy, I Look.
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Man, hey, I'm good now, man. If you don't know about I Look, man, check him out. But we've been knowing each other for a while now. We hooked up a while back. We hooked up on Venom and vaccines. He came through. He delivered. This dude is exciting, motivated. He's energetic. He's lyrical when it comes down to it. He got his own movement, Heaven's Heathens, his own movement, man. And, let me just give you a little bit about I Look. So German born, but Nashville raised, I Look is known for his diverse style. Whether it's spitting about the street life, from dope dealing, robbing, addiction, and lockups, to topics of demons, spirits, metaphysical, and esoteric, this is no stone left unturned. Having overcome that revolving door of incarceration, addiction, and toxic lifestyle, I Look was able to focus on the craft that he'd been harnessing since the early age of 10. His aim is to use music to share his message, in hopes it helps others still lost in the darkness. By stepping out from the shadows to live as a light, Heaven's Heathens was founded and is now a cornerstone connecting artists with similar messages of lessons learned from a troubled past. Always raw and real, although sometimes dark and grimy, you can be sure there's always a message to be made or a story to be told. Hey, man, that's dope. That whole movement. Tell us about the movement, bro.
Man, kind of you explained it right there, brother. It's it's a collective of artists from all over the place that have been through hell and back and choose to be a light in this world and try to help uplift folks that got a message besides all this kind of music that we got today, if that's what you call it, music.
Yeah.
not hate, but a lot of it's just like, golly, man. So we're trying to do something different, man. We're trying to do something different. Trying to do something where it's, something to uplift folks, something to raise consciousness, share a
Mm-hmm.
message, and try to unite people, in
Yeah.
times of great division.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the mission, and got a lot of great brothers with me on it, and thankful for them trying to bring this all into fruition. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be possible without all them, man. So shout out to y'all.
Shout out to Holy. Well, so okay, and this is what I'm confused about. Holy heathens, heaven heathens. What's
Holy
the
heathen.
yeah? Tell me about that concept and what's the difference, or the namesake of it.
Holy heathen is more of a moniker.
Okay,
I look the holy heathen. Try to, like I say, only do wrong if it's for right.
that's dope.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's
there's
dope.
there's a difference between like legalities and moralities. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of foul things at play, and sometimes you might do things that aren't necessarily looked at as right, but it's for a a moral
Right
right or something
standpoint.
like that. Yeah,
Right, right, right.
because the greater good, and so the holy heathen kind of sums that up, kind of as far as like the balance between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Striving for righteousness, but still, heathen from the foundation. So
Right.
it's bringing those and unifying those and balanced and doing wrong for right if
Yeah,
need
that's
be.
dope, man. Hey,
Doing
that's a
right,
hell of a
but
concept, though. Yeah, because at the end of the day, bro, you know, we all come from somewhere, and
right.
we all had to learn different ways and be creative on how to get it, and some harder than others. So I get it, So tell us about how you came up and what made you decide to be an artist, like an actual hip hop artist or artist in general.
Yeah, for sure, man. Music was always just a way to vent. I started like you said in that description. There was age of 10,
Mm-hmm.
more or less is kind of a poetry or a journal, more or less a rhyming journal. It's just it was a lot darker then, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
lot more of just channeling frustrations and things like that. I guess you could say it was more like horrorcore type stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it went from that, and it just stuck with me. It was one of those things that it was kind of second nature to me, and that's why I
Mm-hmm.
put the microphone plugged in the vein,
Ah,
music in my
okay,
blood.
okay.
It's something that it's just once I started, I couldn't stop. It was the most addictive drug to me was music.
Yeah.
It was how I vented all the bullshit that built up. If I don't do music, I become a
Mm-hmm.
worse person.
Right, right, right.
Like
Yeah.
music is literally like,
That's your
it's how I
therapy.
release. Yeah, it's my therapy, man. And
Yeah.
like I said, coming from that, and at first, went from that and evolved to all chopping shit. I mean, I came up on Bone Thugs, and Twista, and
Mm.
of course, 3 6 Mafia stuff like that. But it
Yeah.
was all chopping and dark, and people always told me, "Oh, you need to slow things down. You gotta." So I went on a journey with it, and it just kind of evolved. It went to slowing things down, finding my style of mixing the two, finding the
Right.
style of the melodies, and over the course of 27 or 17 years. Yeah,
Wow.
27 years. 27
27
years. I'm
years.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah, my math. It's been.
All right, it's cool, man. Yeah, if you want to stay young, we can
Hey, I
say
stay young.
27. Yeah,
It's the fountain of
Hey, if
youth,
that's the
man,
case,
isn't
I'm 32. You know
it?
what I'm saying? Hey, it's all good, man. Nah, but
But
yeah, that's
yeah,
what's up, man.
yeah, it's just
Um,
evolved from there over the course of 20 something, 27 years, man,
mm-hmm.
and kind of found my. I still try new things and still
Yeah,
allow it to evolve. I try to be fluid with it. I have my own style, my own niche, but still look to grow and to evolve. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, and you more than just an artist. So, I noticed you got the studio. I noticed y'all do a lot of graphics, a lot of what would I call it? Animation and stuff like that. So where I'm going with that, listeners, is that okay? So when the Venom and Vaccine project got put together, everybody was in different locations. So when I look sent his part was like dark, and I mean, it had more. It was sophisticated. So me and the other two artists was like, well, damn, where'd you get your camera from? And then he told us like, nah, I got just a regular camera, yeah, iPhone or something. I was like, what
With a
the? So
gimbal.
yeah. So we like, yeah, with a gimbal. I'm like, so I
$80
noticed that
gimbal off
y'all
Amazon.
high tech out there. So I'm just like, what are y'all doing out there, right? Outside of just writing music.
Right, shit. I mean, first, foremost is Sean Loke. He's the one, Loke Saint. He's the one that does all
Mm-hmm.
the graphics. H2D.
Yeah.
He's done all mine, and I mean, he's does phenomenal work.
Yes, he
Um,
does.
yeah, he's multiverse, multi-talented. Dude's
Yeah.
got. I mean, from lyricism and music to
Mm-hmm.
graphics and all that, and everything else. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that's the graphics. Graphic size is H2D graphics, and
Mm-hmm.
um, as far as I got a home repair business. That's my primary source of income. Is
Mm-hmm.
doing home repairs and fixing stuff. I'm building the studio right now.
See?
I was telling you before we started here. I had U-Haul blankets hanging up, and whatever temperature it was outside is how the temperature that was in the studio. So
Uh-huh.
had to had to make some stuff happen so all my equipment doesn't get ruined. So I'm in my wife's
Right.
office now. Um, we got I mean pretty much all types of stuff, man. I mean, I do
Yeah.
little motion things. I've got
Mm-hmm.
my buddy Kenny Pimpy K, PMV Media.
Mm-hmm.
He does all the animation videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's done all my little animation videos, and he's just phenomenal. Also, very talented individual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as like when I had my Wake and Wednesday thing, I'm learning, man. I'm learning. I
Yeah.
got my studio, and thankfully to Loke and to my buddy Ricky, and
Mm-hmm.
just soaking up my buddy Marty, man. Just soaking things up over the years and seeing how to engineer. I'm kind of learning as I go.
Man,
So
you can't. Hey, you way more advanced than me, brother. That
appreciate it,
that
man.
that cover. I can't. What's the name of your last album? The
Shadow work.
Shadow Work.
Yeah,
Where'd you
shadow
come up
work.
with that concept of that artwork from?
I had the idea for it. I wanted to be like a unification of integration of merging the two, and the
Mm-hmm.
kind of the concept of the holy heathen as well.
Yeah.
And I sat outside and I set my best high tech camera up out there, and I actually
uh
used the little stick from the bottom because my wife was busy and I kept trying to
the
get her to take
stylist.
pictures. I used the stylus. I set this shit up on a Home Depot bucket, and I sat out there and I fucking
Oh,
I had this hidden in my hand, and I fucking snapping them.
he's like,
I had a whole bunch of them. I put them together, sent them to Sean, and he put it together. And yeah, that's that. I can't forget
yeah.
first and foremost, man. Speaking of the music side of everything,
Mm-hmm.
influence. My brother
Influence.
Justin, yeah, he's the one that does all my mixing, and my music would be it wouldn't be what it is without him.
Yeah. And shout out
Can't
to
forget the engineer.
yeah, engineer makes a lot of difference. You
Yeah.
got to have a crafty engineer, man, with a vision. They got
Oh
to
yeah.
know, and feel your music. Yeah, so for the listeners, tell them a little bit about that shadow work. I know a lot about it. I play it on my radio station. Me and I look are friends, so I've heard not only that, but my favorite project is you already know that black and red cover, bro. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get on the shadow work right now. But we got
All
to get to
right.
that black and red cover, bro.
All right. Chaos
Yes,
theory.
yeah.
Man,
So
that was. We'll get into
yeah,
that
man,
one.
yeah. So tell them a little bit about shadow work and the concept and everything in regards to the music.
Yeah, shadow work, man, is I think kind of what I was explaining, that the holy heathen concept as far as merging of the dualities of I went through a hell of a process.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been meaning to do some videos or some like kind of vlogging about it and stuff. Um, in my transformation from the old life to the new life, at first it was change everything, try to just
Mhm.
blend in. It was before I lived the old life. It was flashy, fucking party, 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 and
Mhm.
just wilding out for years and years and years and years. And so, when I got out in 2012, I said, I basically, it was ego death. It
Yeah.
was an ego
Yeah.
death, and I just tried to like narrow myself down as much as I could, and like kind of just blend in the shadows, right?
Mhm.
And that caused my like I've never had anxiety. I mean, I've had the life I was living. I had a lot of stress and shit, but I ain't never
Mhm.
had like what you think of like panic attacks, anxiety, and
Yeah,
stuff
panic
like that.
attacks. Yeah, manic
Yeah.
attacks.
So once I got out,
Mhm.
it was I did 2 years in county unsentenced fighting a case. I ended up finally bonding out after 2 years, and
Mhm.
I was fighting it from the street. And I said I got to change everything. I got into school, and I made a list of goals and shit like that. And I said this is it. Like if I don't stop, I'm never getting out. I'm gonna end up just like my birth father. I'm never getting
Right.
out. So I had to make those
Mhm.
changes, and in that process, it was like literally destruction of the ego, and that actually
Mm.
ended up causing more issues because I wasn't dealing with things. It was more of like I don't want people to view me as a thug or as a I've got to go into people like try to talk to people. And I was working
Yeah.
at like a sub shop, but I was working with my dad too, doing home repairs and trying to go into school and trying to make ends meet and shit like that. And I had to deal with
Mhm.
customers, and so I was like really conscious of what I said before I said it, and it started like
Yeah.
creating all this like because I wasn't being genuine. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
like it was
Making up shit.
yeah, and it was like I was trying to be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't want to sound hood. I didn't want to sound
Right.
I was
Right.
like I've got to be like hi, I'm Dennis, da, 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 da. And and that
Right.
wasn't me, man. And so it
Mhm.
created this like fucking I mean whirlwind. It was I went through I mean
Mhm.
hypnotherapy, all types of shit. Like I went and drove to Kentucky and had hypnotherapy. This is how this project has deep roots.
Yeah, yeah. It
It
sounds like it,
has
but I mean,
it has
that's the
deep
stuff that
roots,
people
man.
don't understand that you need sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, like that's how this formed.
Yeah.
It was going through like mental fucking chaos, mental havoc,
Mhm.
and literally losing myself to oblivion and having to like refine myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it all came together. And losing like I've lost a lot of people. I mean, a lot of all my best friends and a lot of family members and things like
Yeah.
that. And like my best friend of almost 20 years, Sarah, she
Uh-huh.
passed 2020,
Damn.
beginning of 2020. My grandma, it was my friend, another friend, almost 20 years passed, Squirt. Then my
Mm.
grandma, dog and a cat, and then my best friend Sarah, all like back to back to back, amongst my house flooding and everything else, like 5 times in a month. Pipes
Yeah,
bursting
that's
and shit.
rough, boy.
It
That's
was rough. So it was all
mhm.
this like whirlwind of like shit in life, plus like all the mental shit I was going through, like where I
Mhm.
went to a breaking point, and like reality is painful came from that. All
Mhm.
the other things, just being a mess, trying to like reel myself back in,
Yeah.
shattering
Yeah.
myself to pieces and reeling myself back in. I know it's a lot, man, but that's
Hey, man, I mean,
it's
that's what it's all about.
it's
Like, it
passion,
ain't
man.
it's kind of like what you said in the beginning of our interview, we got to get back to the basics. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it that a lot of this music is trendy and it's catchy or whatever, but music was meant for people to relate. And
Mhm.
everybody don't relate with half the shit that's coming out right now. You know what I'm saying? So when you say stuff like you had to have therapy and you had to think, basically find yourself, that's the type of shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people go through this, men and women. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So with that being said, with this movement that you got going on, Heaven
Heaven's
Heathens,
Eve. Yeah.
it sounds like with us talking off air that a lot of people that that are part of this movement, they kind of y'all on the same page, y'all got things, what I'm saying. So tell us about some of the people, some of the artists that you working with, where they from, and then what y'all got coming out like in the near future.
Oh yeah, man. Shit, like influence. Like I said, that's my brother, man. He's right with me. Influence Justin. He does all the mixing, all the engineering for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Phenomenal artist. Great stand up dude.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Blind Logic. Michael. You know,
Mike. Yep.
you
Shout
know,
out to
very
Mike.
talented artist, man, and Loke Saint, of course. My brother had
Yep.
did as
Shout
well.
out to
I'd have been
Sean.
lost. Yeah, Sean Tam. I'd have been lost without him guiding me on a lot of this stuff, man. I mean, you know, from when I dropped Chaos Theory, the Red Black, when you were talking about,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
just the whole learning process of everything. I would have been
Mm-hmm.
fumbling around in the dark if
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
for Sean, man. He's been a light for me. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, shit, you know, I got other artists, Hysteric. That's
Just there.
my brother Eric. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's had his hands full. You know, we all got families and everything going on too, and
Yeah.
work, and so it's trying to balance all that and all come together.
Yeah.
Um, shit, we've got well, B Smith. He's on the break the spell ciphers, break the smell, break the spell ciphers with this and
Uh-huh.
stuff. You know, a lot of folks that are, because I've got that thing going too, and there's a few of
Yeah.
those in the works. And so there's a lot of folks that are coming on the break the spell aspect, but aren't necessarily affiliated with the Heaven's Heathens. You
Right.
know, Kenny, Kenny's our graphics guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Rob, he's our podcast, and we've got the Heathen House review show about to drop soon, doing music reviews and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, shit. Uh, yeah, I mean, I
We
said
got a lot,
it's
man. Hey, y'all sound like
it's coming. There's a lot going
yeah.
on. There's a
Hey,
lot
that's
going on.
good though, because
Yeah.
everybody see, man, like I've been watching, the series Wu Tang, American Saga. And it's funny because man, that dude RZA was a genius because he had, positions for everybody. Like he
Yeah.
kind of knew where everybody was good, what crafts they were good at and stuff like that. So, I admire what you're doing because you make it where everybody's involved, everybody's gonna eat, and everybody can bring their own, talent to the table. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But going into that, what is it? So what's I call it the Red and Black album. What's it called?
Chaos Theory Part One.
Chaos Theory. So
Yeah.
let me get a little breakdown about my experience with Chaos Theory. I'm not the best on airplanes. So anytime I get on the airplane and I fly a lot, even though I'm not the best on it, I gotta make sure I'm meditating somewhere or another with some type of music. So when me and I look first met, he didn't even know it, but I downloaded his album on Apple Music because to me, I
Appreciate
download
that.
people's albums. I don't just stream your shit and and be like stream it one time and never listen to it again. I download people's albums, so I download his whole album, and it was two songs that I liked the most, and one was I can't think of the name of it, but I know you and Loke Saint are on it because he said I can't think of the name of the song, but the one song that popped
Rites
out
of
the most to me was
Passage.
which one is it?
Rites of Passage. That's the
Oh yeah,
first song
Rites
we
of
ever did
Passage.
together. Yeah.
I listened to that one a lot, and then I also listened to the one you dedicated to your father. You know what I'm
Not my
saying?
father. No, yeah. Sperm donor.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, well,
Spermified.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let it
that one. So
pops.
tell us about like the concept of that song because that song took me back a lot of different ways emotionally, and what I've had to go through, with having not only father, biological, and stepfather, and people role models and not being role models and so forth. So how'd you come up with that? Tell us the name of it and how you came up with the concept of this actual song.
Yeah. Letter to Pops. You know, it was kind of the unsaid things. You know, as you stated, the thing. I was born in Germany, so
Mm-hmm.
I moved here when I was 5 to Nashville, to New York for like 6 months, and then to Nashville, and so I didn't speak any English for the first 6 or 7 years. My
Wow.
birth father, he spoke, you know, he speaks German. He doesn't speak English. He's in Germany, so
Oh,
I've only
okay.
met him when I was you know, 4 or 5 years old. Um,
Yeah.
and so, you know, I mean, I had some pictures when I was a baby with him and stuff like that. But he was in and out of prison, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
he was living that life, and so you know, he did a lot of fucked up shit to my mom. So there was a lot of mixed emotions as far as all growing up. When I was younger, it was like, you know, I wanted to I wanted to confront him face to face, and I had
Yeah.
a lot of anger to let out. And then
Yeah.
as I got older and gained a little bit more understanding and understanding, and
Mm-hmm.
I realize that everything is pain, and is
Yeah.
projecting pain, and things are paid forward, whether it be positive or negative. And we
Mm-hmm.
have his dad. That's why I said in the song, his dad was a drunk sailor who beat
Yeah.
him all the time. So he went out and robbed and beat people with chains and shit like that. And
Right.
he was a fucked up person because he had a lot of pain. So even though I don't
Yeah.
know him, having time, last time in the hole when I was, I had spent a month in the hole and locked up and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and had a lot of time to reflect and think about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of, I guess, letting go of a lot of anger. I was going
Yeah.
through anger management classes and shit, and
Mm-hmm.
just letting go of certain things. And then after that, past since I've been on my journey pre
Mm-hmm.
post 2012, it was letting go of a lot more of that stuff. So I kind of came to more of a point of like trying to see things through his eyes. Like he
Yeah.
was hurt, so therefore he didn't know
He
how to do
hurt.
better.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
hurt. Well, he's a product of his environment. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's kind of what it's going into. It's like venting my frustration, but at the same time, like also paradigm shifting into kind of understanding why he is the way he is,
Yeah.
and having that kind of internal battle of like what I would do if I were to face him.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be trying to empathize and sympathize with them, or would it be
Yeah, well,
cover the
hands
blows?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I mentioned that in the song, like
Mm-hmm.
that was the whole process behind it, and kind of the
Yeah.
things I probably will never get to say to him, but if he
Right.
ever hears the song,
He'll know. Yeah, he
yeah,
will know.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
see,
he
that's
speaks English.
does he? Oh, okay.
If he does, I don't know. Maybe he learned it in prison. I
Right,
don't
right. Well, man, hey, I commend you for that. Both your projects, man. Like I said, if to the listeners, if you haven't listened to his music, check it out. I'm telling you, like, it ain't. If you like and enjoy and respect the craft of hip hop and rap and the words that have meanings, this is the type of artist that you should listen to. Shout out to I want to give a shout out to Rodney, Jess, and cousin Jr. They all tuned in. They tapped in on and everybody else who is listening and watching. If y'all are tap in, send a message. I try to read the messages while I'm doing the interview as well, and try to give everybody a shout out. But no, what I was saying is like, yeah, like his whole. I mean, Loke Saint, him, Mike, they all have that in common with the lyricism, man. It's like, when I'm listening to the radio station and, the song he got out right now, Stand Alone, and that's what we'll talk about in a minute. It's once again, it's another lyrical banger. So tell us a little bit about Stand Alone.
Stand alone. Uh, that one partially was written in a dark mind state where I felt like, I try to help folks whenever I can, whenever I'm in a position. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when I get in a dark spot or a dark place, or the burdens, because that's one of the things that is just now being talked about more is men's mental health. Like we
Yeah.
carry a lot of loads, and we always gotta, oh, fuck it, I'm good, and all that, and keep pushing. And I always do
Mm-hmm.
that, until eventually, like it's like that boiling point where anger, frustration, and all that stuff, and you finally blow up and do some shit that you regret, and it's like
Yeah.
we got to handle it, and
Yeah.
it's something that needs to be addressed. So, um, Standalone is basically it was written partially in a dark spot where I felt like I didn't have anybody, even though I know I've got, and in the second verse I go into that, like folks that I'm thankful for, and
Yeah.
I've lost, like I said, over the years, majority of my best friends, and people
Yeah.
close to me, and so Standalone was always kind of like being able to stand 10 toes in the face of anything,
Mm-hmm.
even though and I went into the second verse was more of like I'm thankful for everybody I have. It's not like a negative thing. It's more the fact that regardless of if they're there or not, I've got to be able to stand and face every situation.
Right.
Stand and face it alone. Be able to stand 10 toes alone, no
Yeah.
matter what. So, yeah, man, it was written partially in a drunk, dark. Yeah, that too. Dark drinking phase. Like I said, when all that shit happened, it was piled on. It was like multiple people dying close to me, family and close friends and a lot of other things. And
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I just went into a hole, man. And it was kind of trying to keep my head above water. I was still trying to, I wasn't going to backslide to what, the old life, but at the
Yeah,
same
what they
time, I
wanted you to
was,
do. Yeah.
yeah, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I was self-destructing, and didn't feel like I had anybody I could actually vent to. Like I try to be
Mm-hmm.
there for folks, and sometimes when I feel like I'm overloaded, it's like it's like I just keep the shit in, man. So it comes out
Right.
in music, and
Yeah.
there it is, man.
Well, you know what? But people relate to that, and that's what they need. That's what we need as a society is, and everybody has things that go on in their life, and sometimes people just want to hear that people aren't the only one. Like I'm not the only one dealing with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn, I look is dealing with the same shit I'm dealing with. I can relate to that, and that's the type of stuff. That's why I said like when it came to that the Red and Black album. I mean, I done been on probably 3 different flights and I listened to that because
I
it
appreciate
takes
that,
me
man.
back to what I went through, kind of similar situation, and then going into fatherhood myself and what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that hits home, man. And it's, we, lyricists, former lyricists, people that know music, people that respect the craft, they respect what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when all this other catchy, trendy shit goes away, you still got to have the basics. You know what I'm saying? And what it was built off of, lyrics, you know, stuff that happened around you, stuff that you grew up and your upbringing. That's what hip hop's all about, bro. And the fashion, the
Hmm.
trend, the fact that, what we wear, how we lived, all that. You can't, so when the
Right.
chains go away, when the bundles of money and all that stuff leave, you still got that music. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that.
Appreciate you,
So
man.
yeah, man. So going into 2022, what we got going on for our look?
Well, one of the things I've been overloaded with everything going on, but one of the big projects that there's one that hasn't been announced yet, and that one has been a big thing going on
Okay.
behind the scenes. So that was to be announced soon. But
Yeah,
we've
that's
got
like
some, yeah, we've got we've got some break the spell ciphers coming, and we about to hit them in succession, man, just back to back to back. And
okay.
I feel bad because I know folks ready to get moving on them, and
Mm-hmm.
I've had so much going on. I'm like I keep saying, okay, I'm gonna get this shit together today, and then it's like, oh, something else, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so they're coming, and that's gonna be, those are powerful, man, because it's literally uniting all those artists from all over the place. I mean, we got
Yeah.
artists in Australia, Chico Kasi,
Damn.
he's gonna be on it. I mean, we got some artists from all over the place, all these
Yeah.
different perspectives, different people from all over the world
Or
that
the
have
country. I
seen,
mean, over the
yeah,
world.
over the
Yeah, the
country, over
globe.
the world, that are seeing
Yeah.
different things, and coming together on this to share the perspective of breaking the spell, the collective spell that the populace
Yeah.
seems to be under. So those are powerful, man. And I've had one come out. There's going to be three coming, and we're going to drop them rapid fire. So I'm going to get those moving ASAP. I
Mm-hmm.
promise y'all. To those of y'all watching,
You hear that? Don't
I
Yeah,
know
y'all
I
hear
I
that?
know I've been slacking, man. Hey,
He
I'm
coming. He
hard on
said it's
myself. I know
coming.
it's
Yeah.
coming. So I'm gonna get that moving. And then I've got my album. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and announce it on your show, since it's Skrill Town and Mo.
Yeah.
Mirrors is going to be dropping soon. I've been working on that behind the scenes, and also the Shadow Work album has dropped the singles because I was trying to do the Wake 'em Wednesday thing. It's hard for me
Mm-hmm.
to keep up with that right now. I'm going to backtrack to it eventually and bring it back to life. But Shadow Work is going to drop as a collective, like as an album instead of just
Mm-hmm.
the singles, and it's going to have a few additional tracks on it. So that's coming, and then after that, Mirrors is dropping. So yeah, admit
Yeah.
that's my personal projects coming, and then
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Theory 2 was partially in the works, but that might be 2023. So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see how
Sucky.
it goes.
He sound like he busy, y'all. He most definitely sound like he busy. I want to give a shout out to M Rock. 254. He said Texas is in the building. What's cracking? Okay, and then to last but not least, I look any words of wisdom to any upcoming MCs, producers, DJs in your area, or people that want to work with you or anything. Any words of wisdom.
Shit, I mean, I'm always collabing, so I'm always down to work with new folks and anybody. Feel free to hit me up. I got my Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that is I luck on everything, all the socials.
Mm-hmm.
Words of wisdom, just keep pushing. Persistence is key. Like I look back when I feel stagnant, when I feel like I'm stuck, I look back at where I was, the Red and Black album, Chaos
Yeah.
Theory, and where I've
Mm-hmm.
come in a year and a half. And so even if you feel like you're not making progress, enjoy the journey. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
stuck in trying to get here because once you get there, everything, I mean, you're there, then what? Then what's
Yeah.
next?
Then what?
So
Yep.
yeah, it's like you got to enjoy the process, man. It's all molding and shaping you for the end result. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the main thing. And I was telling you pre-show about like Jelly and Struggle and Church and everything. Those are three artists from Nashville alone from
Yeah.
that I'm
Yeah.
seeing fucking doing it, and that's motivating as hell to me, man. It lets me know
Yeah.
it's possible. So, you know, um, just keep pushing because it's possible, and I know I'll get there, and I'm just trying to
Mm-hmm.
remember to be present and enjoy the grind and enjoy the journey. And I know it gets frustrating. Feel like you're beating your head against the wall. Keep moving,
Mm-hmm.
keep going, keep pushing.
That's what's up. Yeah, like you said, all you Nashville artists that tune in, check out my boy I look and the Heaven Heathens, man. They come and got
Yes, man.
grind
Thank you,
hard
man.
and go home or go home. He got a track on there that has not been released, and I ain't even gonna say what the name of it is. You just be it's coming. But I look, man, he got some hot music. His whole movement's tight. So tap in with him, check him out, check out all his projects on any social media platform. And yeah, man, like we appreciate you not only as a uh, MC, artist, but also a businessman. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, man. I appreciate the opportunity to interview you tonight. I'm sorry about the Tennessee Titans, man, but Chiefs. So it's all good. I had to throw that out there, y'all. But yeah, nah, man, you like a brother to me, man. We go way
Likewise,
back.
man.
Venom and Vaccines. He played a intricate part on it, and we've done a lot of success, but we continue to move with it. And I just got the report back the other day. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but internationally,
Yeah.
on the radio charts, we got at least 450 spins. So that's a dope when Germany, your people, Germany,
Yup. France.
France,
Yup.
yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
a whole
man.
bunch of other places. They showing love to us, man. So yeah, but I appreciate
Hey,
what you do,
shout
man.
out to Daffy Dot, man. She been fucking
She doing her
getting it out
thing.
there. Yeah,
Yep.
she doing her
Thanks.
thing, and she been showing love, sharing it out there too in France. So
Yeah.
I mean that's helping with reach, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful watching it disperse globally,
What
man.
and that's what we all about, man. That's what we all about, helping each other, man. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
so I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Once again, tomorrow night we have Terry Rimpson. She is actually R&B chart topping Billboard artist. She'll be tuning in with us tomorrow as a special guest. So check it out, 7 p.m. Welcome to Skrill Town Talk. And until next time, y'all, be safe. One love. If you don't tune in, have a happy Thanksgiving. And we out.
Peace.
100.